Is now a good time to buy or sell a condo or townhome, or should you wait? Today I'm breaking down the real estate numbers in Jupiter. In this video, we'll talk about things like median pricing, how fast homes are selling, and whether or not the market is shifting in your favor. My name is Casey Prindle, your Jupiter Realtor. Every month I make these videos so that people just like you can make smarter, data-driven real estate decisions. What's next for the Jupiter condo and townhome real estate market? Higher prices? Slower sales? I'll give you the inside information and I'll give you the real data. Let's dig in.
All right, everybody. Median price. Condos and townhomes in Jupiter is now $525,000. We are down year over year from $558,000 right here on the chart. If you've listened to me for any of these other videos, you've heard me say don't look at median sold pricing if you're looking just at Jupiter. Reason being, our sample size is just too small. This chart's just way too sporadic. Only thing you can take from it, if you kind of zoom out, prices have risen over the last handful of years. That's about all that I would take from this chart. Really nothing else. But let's get on to something much more meaningful. All right, total number of properties sold last month, 69. Now look, not a whole lot matters more than how many properties are selling, right? I mean, all these other statistics don't mean a whole lot unless you have buyers coming into the market. We are down year over year from 100 sales. Don't take a ton off of this. You can see, while seasonality is really pronounced on single family home sales, things do tend to peak around, the latest that we see on anything peaking is in June of a given year. Sales do tend to peak in that March, April, and kind of maybe hang around May, June, and then kind of fall off. So if the past is any indication, we are probably looking at another good month, but you never know. Again, just not quite as pronounced here. So interesting chart to keep an eye on. But I do think that we've at least come off these lows, which is a good sign to show some signs of life in this market, right? All right, sold list to sales price ratio. This is going to be the discount, if you will, that a seller accepted off of their original asking price. Now, if they reduced price a couple of times, this is still going to be pegged to their original listing price, just for some context there. So what this is showing is, on average, sellers are accepting 95% of their original listing price. It tells you a couple of things. One, it tells you that if you're a seller, you probably have to be open to negotiation. If you go back in time here where we were 101%, means things are selling over list price. We haven't been in that market for quite some time, right? Last 2 years anyways, you've had to negotiate. Obviously, if we're higher on this chart, it's better for sellers. If we're lower on this chart, it's better for buyers. Buyers, this also tells you if you're firing in offers 20% below listing price, you're probably not going to get anywhere. I think it's an interesting stat to keep an eye on. Just kind of tells you overall. If you're a seller, it just says, look, if you're listing it at 100 grand, expect that you're going to get and have to accept an offer around 95. It's just the easiest way to look at this. So I find value in it. Anyways, let's move on. All right, look, before we continue, if you've been thinking about buying or selling a condo or townhome in the Jupiter or North Palm Beach area, give me a call, send me a text message, email me if you don't really want to call or text me. But I promise I'm fun to talk to. It's easiest to call me. Start having a conversation with me sooner rather than later. Quite honestly, the sooner that I get involved in this process, the easier that it makes things for you. Now go ahead, do your hunting around Zillow and everything else like that. It's not going to upset me. In fact, I encourage it. More than 90% of home buyers start there. So go ahead, do your search, but then when it comes down to actually making decisions and selecting an agent, that's where it's time to call me. Let's move on. All right, median days on market goes from when your property was actively listed until it goes pending sale. It does not include the time that the contract had to close, typically 30, 45 days. So if you're a seller, you want to add 30 or 45 days to the back end of this to get a realistic idea on average of when your property will result in money in your bank account. That's the best way to kind of look at this. Higher days on market going to favor buyers more because it means sellers are going longer and longer without seeing offers or accepting offers. And at some point they have a little bit more room to negotiate than they did in the beginning, where if you fire an offer off the first 7 days that something's on market, sellers are less likely to negotiate, at least generally speaking. So look, I was surprised last month when we pulled down to 42 days, and I said that this just doesn't feel right. It felt like an anomaly because just kind of boots on the ground. I've been seeing days on market climb more in the condos and townhomes listings that I'm looking at with buyers. So I think that we probably stay up here and get a little bit higher probably, especially coming into the summer months. So don't be shocked if that happens. Again, buyers, that's good for you. Sellers, look, it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. If you have a good product to offer for sale, it's still going to sell. It just may not sell as quickly as you would like it to. And the truth of the matter is, if you can hang on to when the market becomes a little bit more competitive, that may be a better strategy for you. That's not a strategy that everybody can do, but it may be better for you. So let's get on to median price per square foot. All right. If you've watched other videos, you will know, just like median sold price, I don't put a lot of stock in median price per square foot, right? Just the sample size is too small again, as I continue to say. But look, let's kind of look at this. Here's the line between 300 and 400. We just had a little break above that and then pulled right back down. If you want to get my attention, we're probably going to have to break above or below here for me to say, hey, this may be something interesting. Something may be going on in the market. The only thing I think you really want to look at and say again is, median price per square foot has risen over the last handful of years. But that's kind of all that I would really take from there. All right, total dollar volume. This is going to be a masterclass in why I tell you not to pay a whole lot of attention to total dollar volume. Jupiter is a pricey market that has some properties that are super pricey. Last month, there were a total of 5 sales, the top 5 sales. They accounted for just over $20 million in total volume. So $20 million into this $56 million, almost $57 million. Those sales were in Bears Club and Admiral's Cove and one other outlier. Look, if you took that 20 out, we're at 36. We're kind of back here, right? So this is why I tell you, you got to be careful with the small sample size and with the size volume that we can have here in the marketplace in Jupiter. So a lot of other places that have a whole lot more sales, for example, if we zoomed out to Palm Beach County on the whole and you wanted to track volume, it wouldn't look as sporadic as this. Just so happens we have a small sample size. Before we go on, if you're thinking about selling a property, give me a call, 786-443-7203. Send me a text message. Easiest thing for you to do there is ask me how much your property's worth. Look, a lot of these automated valuations, they get it all wrong. It's not quite as bad in condos and townhomes as it is on single family homes, but the automated values just don't get the nuance and the small details correct. So just email me, tell me, hey, look, this is my address. Tell me what it's worth. What do you think we're looking at? And happy to do it for you. Let's move on. All right, month's supply of inventory. Now this is the one statistic, if you want to show me a quick graph and ask me how a market is doing, this is what I want to see. This is just supply and demand in its most pure form, right? There is 34% plus more supply available over the last 12 months or year over year. That means buyers, you have 34% more properties to look at. That's one way you could look at it. The only things that change this number are an increase in or decrease in sales and an increase or decrease in inventory. Nationally, we consider 6 months to be market balanced, favoring neither buyers nor sellers. Here we may be a little bit lower. We may be somewhere around 5 months if you kind of did all the averages out. But here's what I can tell you. We are firmly in a buyer's market for condos and townhomes in Jupiter. Let's not kid ourselves or deceive ourselves. Buyers are in the driver's seat when it comes to this product type. Don't let anybody tell you any different. That's just nonsense. It doesn't make any sense. So look, if you have any further questions on that or kind of how it all works, I can go real deep on this one. But I will save most of you the boring details. What you should know is lower supply favors sellers, higher supply favors buyers. That's what I got for you guys. Thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Please feel free to call, text, or email me, 786-443-7203. Email me, whatever you feel comfortable with. Just get in touch with me. I love to talk about real estate. Do it all day long. And I especially like talking to people that have watched these videos because you have some context and some stuff for us to talk about. So please reach out to me, and I will see you guys next month. Take care.